Regardless of what the law says, morally, it's still not right.
Not everybody is as fluent on the legal aspects of things online, as other people are, and it'd be one thing if they were violating privacy laws, but the ones that their Facebook's public, they're kind of asking for it.
Well, but that's like saying that a girl who wears, it is apples and oranges, but that's still like saying that the girl who wore a halter top and a miniskirt was asking to be raped. It's kind of the same premise, really.
Well, but I tend to disagree because there are a lot of girls who put those pictures of themselves out there because they want them to be seen.
Well, that's true.
And, those situations where, women are wearing revealing clothing, they're not asking to be raped, but they're asking for people to look at those pictures, but know your privacy settings, guys. When you really should be more careful about what you put online. People don't realize the kind of horrible people there are out there, and some of my, skepticism about the world has to do with the fact that I've worked with deeply disturbed individuals. People who have, raped young girls and stuff like that because they're, mentally just messed up. That sort of thing. And so, I'm really careful about, anything that I put online is something I wouldn't mind saying to somebody's face. I don't put it on there unless I'm okay with somebody seeing it or somebody, because the internet's not just some place that you can share private thoughts. Everything you put on the internet ends up public.
Not to interrupt or anything, but how in the hell are you doing that whole the whole where you what you call it when you squat? How the hell are you doing that? You can't do that on PS3.
I'm clicking the left stick.
I didn't think you could either. He clicks the left stick. Yeah, it's a squat button. You can click
squat button.
The stick.
Button. I'm gonna have to try that next time I play this.
It's not squatting. What is it called? I can't.
There's
think
an
of
actual
it,
term for it, but I said
but I can't
Crouch.
think.
Crouch. Thank
yes.
you. Yeah, that's exactly it. So,
but don't get killed. Oh,
he got deaded.
So,
but anyway,
this is mixed feelings for me on this
specifically to this
because he hasn't actually broken the law, but morally he's
a douchebag.
A douchebag, yes. A lot of it is, people post things for the sake of pissing off other people. And to me, that's just basic douchebag behavior.
It is. Well, what were you, you have a comment or something to say about
thoughts? Men, because I'm very opinionated and I'm
I didn't notice at all. See, I'm torn the way Happy is about how, whether or not it was right for that guy to turn him in or not. Obviously, I think he's a scumbag. He shouldn't be doing what he's doing. But at the same time, who is it? How is it his job to do that?
Yeah.
Well, but it's like they,
knock that camera down. Don't forget. Get that camera.
It was like
your camera.
What has been said: if he didn't want his information out there, he shouldn't have made it so dang easy to find out who he is.
He got cocky and
thought
he was above the law, basically, and
so
yeah.
Well, one of the things that the article was talking about is, Reddit knew who he was. Mm-hmm. He helped out Reddit a lot with not just.
Well, it's so hard for them to police such a huge site.
Beyond just the stuff he was doing, he was actually. And take this with a grain of salt. He was a productive member of the moderator community.
Yeah, he was very good at helping them track down illegal activity.
Yeah, which, that's
ironic.
It's sort of a.
Well,
it's sort of a thing.
The best people to tell you how to break into a bank are bank robbers. Yeah.
So. But
It always makes me angry when I see a camera and I can't knock it down. So, sorry, off topic, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of I don't know, it's mixed feelings for me because, you know, on the one hand, he's not technically doing anything wrong in the eyes of law, but he is a giant bag of douche.
Well, something else too. I mean, you think about, did he deserve to lose his job over it? That's another question.
Well, I mean,
well,
it's like-
it depends on, did he use company time?
Well, there's
go
that,
on those
and
websites.
also you have to think about too, what was his job?
Yeah, I don't know
Because
exactly.
He
I
was
mean,
a
I know-
computer programmer.
One of the things that they told, well, he was, I mean, obviously he was abusing his ability. I mean, there was some abuse there going on of his job or his
Knock
ability.
down
or,
that
you know.
camera.
But, you know, it's like they mentioned a teacher that had been posting pictures of his students
Yeah.
on there, and he lost his job. Well, damn right he lost his job.
Yeah.
He better have lost
Well,
his
that's,
job.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
You know,
mean,
so
Because
it's
that's
a context.
completely inappropriate.
But I mean, should he have lost his job over this? You know, again, I don't know. I
We
mean,
need to
it's-
know the details
there's-
of why
yeah,
he
it's kinda
lost his job
sketchy.
if we were to judge
And
that.
you know, did he lose his job over this, or was there other things going on that where he lost his job? You know, so there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts
and there
there.
are always loopholes that employers can use. You know, I mean, everybody says, "Oh, well, they can't do that. They can't do that because that's not legal." Well, who's going to tell them they can't? Mm-hmm. You know, it's like I've had so many friends say, "Well, your job can't fire you over this, or they can't write you up over that." Well, they covered their ass legally.
They can't. You know, I mean,
know?
technically, if they say it's something else, you know. But anyway, what were you going to say? Happy, you were going to say something and got interrupted.
I don't recall.
Sorry.
Let's see here. What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about him losing his job
Yeah.
over.
Disregard the companion cube's advice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, well, what are your thoughts, Keelan, on that? Him-
Which
him
part?
losing his job.
His job loss.
Well,
Damn it.
Ouch.
I know why they fired him. Fired him just because they didn't want somebody like that working for him. But then they probably found some way to link it. It's like you said, you know, he's missed what in my business they would call it mischarging time. You know, where you doing something on company time that you were not allowed to do. Things like
Yeah.
that. They found some loophole to get rid of him. That you really can't fire the guy for doing something on Reddit. You know, what if I had a hobby of doing something that was considered by a lot of people to be inappropriate, but not illegal? That doesn't affect my job, so they really
Yeah.
technically can't fire me for it. But they didn't want somebody like that working for them, so they found some other way to get rid of him. Probably.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing, kind of getting back, you know, they're talking about revealing the actual identity of this person. Now, he said a lot of things in his Violentacrez persona that he went on to claim were true to life. Whether or not they actually were, who knows?
Like
you know,
he had sex with his stepdaughter.
Oh, God,
you know,
that's
that sort of
disgusting.
stuff.
you know,
That's just
trolls
disgusting.
will say anything to
To get a rise. Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where whether or not what he said was true, it was presented as truth. He said, "This is true."
Right.
All of a sudden, here's the real person, and you have all these things said about him that he validated as being true.
Well, and
Well-
he got his son involved in doing the same thing.
We live in the technology age. Everything you do online is tracked to what you do in your personal life. And I mean, for me personally, don't put anything out there on the internet that you do not want someone to know about in your personal life. I mean, everything we do with Four Nerds, every person I know in my life, you know, could know about it.
Right.
You know?